it's time to end this. Well, since this is the last Halloween movie, I better call Steven, see what he's up to, see if he wants to review it. After all, he was in the last 2 reviews with me.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Huh. Guess he's not answering. Oh well. So, Halloween Ends. Released in October 2022 and once again directed by David Gordon Green, Halloween Ends marks the conclusion to the recent Blumhouse trilogy of Halloween films and also concludes the Laurie and Michael storyline. Since its release, Halloween Ends has gone on to become one of the most divisive entries within the franchise. Some people like the fact that it tried to do something different instead of just copying what the previous 2 films tried to do before it, while others hated the direction it went in. Those mixed results reflected within its box office, as Halloween Ends went on to become the lowest grossing film in the new Blumhouse trilogy. Is it a satisfying conclusion to the series? Does it fall flat on its face? Or does it fall somewhere in the middle? Well, that's the question we're going to try to answer today. This is Halloween Ends. The movie begins on Halloween night 2019, marking a departure from the previous 2 films, which both took place on the same night back in 2018. I also wanted to point out that the opening credits utilize the same blue font from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, a clever bit of foreshadowing that indicates to the audience that this movie is going to be going in a bit of a different direction than what other people are expecting. After this, we are then introduced to a babysitter by the name of Corey Cunningham, played by Rohan Campbell. I feel that Corey is either the character that makes or breaks this movie for most people, given that he is the lead of the movie. He's introduced as a typical babysitter and seems like a nice, normal guy with a bright future ahead of him. That is until a little shit named Jeremy, that Corey is babysitting, pulls a prank on him where he locks Corey in the attic. However, that turned out to be a pretty big mistake, because as Jeremy's parents arrive home, Corey kicks the door open, which somehow sends Jeremy flying over the balcony of the stairs, where he falls all the way down to his death. The first time I saw this, I think my jaw hit the floor because I wasn't really expecting to see something like this in the film. I actually kind of admire the ambition of the filmmakers here. This is a bold way to start the movie, and it throws a real curveball at the audience by not having the first kill in the film done by Michael Myers. After this scene, the movie jumps to 3 years later, where we get to see how the 2018 killings affected Haddonfield, sending the town into a bit of a downward spiral. We also find out that Michael has not been seen since that night several years ago. I'll get back to talking about Michael in a second, and the questionable creative choices surrounding his character in this film. But before that, let's talk about Laurie and some of the, well, questionable creative choices given her character in this film. After the events of the previous 2 films, Laurie has tried to move on from Michael and began writing her own memoir as a means to heal. She bought a home and moved into it with Allyson, and unlike before, this home isn't a trap, nor does it have any real security like her place beforehand. Okay, I do have some issues with this, and I understand her character is trying to move on given what happened in the last 2 films, but I'm sorry, this feels very inconsistent with what we saw in the previous 2 movies. Now, keep in mind that Laurie spent 40 years preparing for Michael after he killed some of her high school buddies. The death of her friends was enough to send her over the edge and become this paranoid, overprotective person without any real hope of changing for 40 years. Then, after she was proven right about Michael and he wanted this huge killing spree, she just sort of moves on from that and loses that edge that she had beforehand within 4 years. I'm sorry, but in the last 2 movies, we saw this man kill her daughter and son-in-law in the same night, as well as some of her closest friends. I feel like that should send her even more over the edge. Also, let's not forget that the extended cut ending of the last movie showed her on the phone saying she was coming for Michael. I just don't get why she isn't in full overprotective panic mode like she was before. It just feels off to me having her seemingly over the trauma within 4 years, especially after all the pain Michael has caused her and her family and the town. Speaking of the town of Haddonfield, most of the townsfolk come across as real assholes in this movie. I get there is a lot that this town has been going through, but so much of this behavior is completely uncalled for. For instance, when Laurie is out grocery shopping with Frank, the 2 of them share a nice scene together, then it immediately is followed up with this bullshit.
Took her voice! She cannot speak because of you! You were her neighbor? And you don't even know her name, do you? You tempted and you provoked that man when you should have left him alone.
Okay, first of all, how the fuck is that one lady still alive? Did you see what happened to her in Halloween Kills? Michael smashed a fluorescent bulb right through her fucking throat. She should be dead. Secondly, why is Laurie getting the blame for this? She did nothing wrong. Laurie lost a lot of loved ones and ended up in the hospital after she tried to stop Michael. She was the one warning everybody about how dangerous Michael was, and nobody listened to her. If you want to blame somebody, then blame Dr. Sartain. He was the one who freed Michael. This isn't like in Jaws when Chief Brody didn't close the beaches when he knew there was a shark out there and got slapped by Mrs. Kintner and scolded for it. There is no justifiable reason for anyone to be mad at Laurie over anything that happened in the 2018 killings.
Are the people in Haddonfield really this dumb? Yeah, I guess they are really this dumb. Just like this scene, which I think should have been cut.
So yeah, I have some issues with the stuff surrounding Laurie in this film, but backtracking for a quick moment to Frank, I feel like he got the short end of the stick in this movie. Now hear me out. After supposedly dying in the Halloween 2018 film, they brought him back for Halloween Kills, where he ended up getting a lot of the focus in that movie. The flashback stuff centered around him, and even at the beginning of the movie, he talks about how Michael needed to die, and that he was the one who was going to end up killing him. It seemed like they were setting him up for something big. Perhaps he was going to eventually get a second chance at stopping Michael after being the one who spared his life back in the 70s. But it never goes anywhere. In this movie, he doesn't really get much to do. Why go through all that trouble in bringing him back in Halloween Kills after he was supposedly killed in the 2018 film and not really do anything with his character in this one? In the movie, he has a few scenes he shares with Laurie that showcase that the two actors have pretty good chemistry with one another, and to be honest, there is actually a bit of charm and likability to them. I would have much rather seen the movie focus on the relationship between Laurie and Frank as opposed to spending so much of the movie's runtime focusing on Allyson and Corey's relationship.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that aspect of the film.
After the 2019 incident where Corey accidentally killed someone, we see that he now works at his stepdad's junkyard. One day, while on his way back from home, he stops at the gas station to buy himself some chocolate milk when he gets confronted by a bunch of high school bullies.
Now, what makes this scene really funny to me is the fact that we have Corey, this adult man who was several years out of high school, getting bullied by a bunch of high school kids that are in the high school band. They're not even athletically gifted. They're like the scrawniest little shits you can think of, and they're bullying this grown-ass man. Why should anybody be afraid of these kids?
They're just so cartoony. They remind me of the types of bullies you would see in a Stephen King movie. I can at least get a good laugh out of them. Anyway, so during their confrontation with Corey, they try to get him to buy some alcohol, and he refuses, which leads to them calling him all sorts of names, causing Corey to snap and shatter his chocolate milk, damaging his hand in the process. Luckily for him, Laurie just happens to be there to witness the whole thing, and so she takes him to the doctor's office where Allyson is at, and within 5 minutes of knowing each other, she's like all over him. She wants that dick pretty badly. Thus begins the start of their forced and very bizarre romance in the movie. It's one of the worst aspects of the film and takes up so much of the movie's screen time. There really isn't much going on with Allyson in this movie, to be honest. At least anything that's interesting. In fact, her entire character in this movie for the most part is, well, I might as well use this running gag one last time before I retire it.
You fucking whore.
Exactly. She wants to hook up with Corey and leave Haddonfield after only knowing him for a couple of days, which I understand wanting to leave Haddonfield. This town really does suck, but give it some time. You just met the guy.
After their little meetup at the doctor's office, the two of them decide to go on a little date together where they have a bit of fun, and it gets ruined when Corey just happens to run into the mom of the kid he accidentally killed and causes him to freak out and leave the party. He then gets into a bit of an argument about it with Allyson, at which point he walks off, and then completely out of nowhere, the high school bullies just happen to show up.
Because of course they do. How do they even know he was there? Were they just driving down their little car and like, hey, yo, look, there's Corey. Let's go bully him. Hey.
So they get into a confrontation where they end up pushing Corey off a bridge where he then gets dragged into the sewers. Then finally, 40 minutes into this fucking movie, we get our first appearance of Michael Myers, who is now a weak, decrepit, old man.
Yeah, I don't really like this part of the movie. Why is he super weak now? In the last movie, at the end of the film, we saw him take out an entire mob by himself. He showed no signs of weakness or anything like that. And now he's barely moving around, he can barely stand, he's kind of decrepit, and he's just been hiding out in this cave for the past couple of years, just standing around, I suppose.
In the last movie, he was made out to be John fucking Wick with superhuman strength, basically. The last image we saw of this guy, he seemed unstoppable, but now he's just kind of pathetic. See, I would have been more okay with this if we actually saw Michael struggle and injured at the end of the previous film. At least in something like Halloween 5, we saw that he was injured and then he ended up in a coma for a year before he returned to full power.
And here we get none of that, and to be honest, it kind of takes away from Michael's threat level.
So yeah, Michael is now in this super weakened state, and in a scene which I don't fully understand, Michael decides to let Corey live, and from what I can gather, he seemingly transfers his evil into him? It's never fully explained in the movie. That's just the way I'm interpreting it. Corey then crawls out of the sewer and is threatened by some homeless guy, and then he ends up killing him before running away.
One thing that always bothered me about this scene is at no point does he go, "Hey everyone, guess what? I found out where Michael Myers is hiding. Here he is." This could have been a good chance for him to kind of gain some sort of redemption within the eyes of Haddonfield after they turned all their hatred towards him after Michael kind of disappeared many years ago, given all the killings and stuff. So this could have been his way of kind of, hey everyone, I know I screwed up with this thing, it was just an accident, but here's the serial killer who killed everyone else. Here he is. I don't know, I just feel like he should have said something.
Yeah, it's at this point where the movie really starts to lose a bit of momentum, but at the same time, it does have some neat ideas. Remember how earlier on I was talking about how this town is full of assholes? Well, one of those assholes turns out to be one of Allyson's ex-boyfriends. While her and Corey were on a date, this dude refused to take a hint and just leave them both alone. Corey stands up to him, and this guy doesn't like that, so he decides to stalk Corey, who then leads him into the sewers where Michael is hiding out, at which point Corey and Michael start to team up to kill this guy. I actually kind of find this to be a bit of a neat idea. The idea of Michael Myers having an apprentice of sorts and passing his power on to somebody else. It's a fresh idea for the series.
It kind of reminds me of a more messed up version of My Hero Academia. Now, hear me out, let me explain.
For those who don't know, in My Hero Academia, you have All Might, who is the symbol of peace, but is severely injured, so he passes his quirk one for all onto a young man named Izuku Midoriya, a kid who is constantly bullied for not having powers at all, while All Might tries to mold him into the world's greatest hero. Well, in Halloween Ends, you have Michael Myers, aka The Shape, who is severely injured and passes his evil onto a kid that is bullied named Corey Cunningham and tries to mold him into the new Shape.
Like I said, it's kind of a neat idea, but the film doesn't really fully commit to the whole passing of the torch thing.
After this, Corey and Michael proceed to work together to kill a few people, at which point Corey then decides to betray him for reasons and take his mask. That's right, Michael Myers, the unstoppable killing machine who took out an entire mob by himself in the last movie, is beaten by Corey. You could argue that he has the power of the Shape within him, but it just feels a bit off. So after this, Corey, who is now dressing up as Michael Myers, goes on his own killing spree, and what follows is some pretty entertaining stuff. There's a cool kill with the radio DJ, and Corey also gets to enact his revenge on the high school bullies.
It is at least entertaining to watch.
Once he finishes off with the bullies, he turns his attention to Laurie, because after seeing so many red flags with this guy, she tells him to leave her granddaughter alone, but Corey was like, "Nuh-uh, if I can't have her, nobody can." So he shows up to Laurie's house dressed as Michael, and she shoots him. Then in a scene that pretty much just throws away everything before it, Corey stabs himself in the neck so that he can frame Laurie for his death in front of Allyson, who just happens to walk in at that exact moment before leaving distressed. Oh, and then immediately afterwards, Michael shows up to retrieve his mask and finishes killing Corey off so that we can get this final confrontation between him and Laurie.
What are we even doing at this point? Everything in this third act just feels so disjointed. What was the point of setting up this character as the next Michael Myers just to kill him off so we can get Michael versus Laurie again? It just feels so out of place.
So with everyone out of the way, we get the final confrontation between Laurie and Michael Myers, which was what all the marketing was billed as. It's not their most exciting showdown they've had. I still think the final showdown in H2O was the most exciting, but I will admit, I was in suspense wondering what was going to happen when I first saw this scene. Thankfully, this time around, Laurie actually does manage to kill Michael for good.
No cheap cop-outs like we saw in Halloween Resurrection. This is the win Laurie should have gotten 20 years ago.
Then what follows is a scene I actually kind of like. The police show up to the house, and so Laurie straps Michael's body to her car so they can dispose of it for good. I kind of like the fact that everyone was just like, nah, screw protocol, we don't want any more surprises. And so the town of Haddonfield comes together, minus Lindsay Wallace for some reason. I mean, they went through all the trouble of bringing Kylie Richards back for, 2 scenes, and she isn't even here at the end for this midnight procession scene. Anyways, at which point they dispose of Michael's body by throwing his ass into an industrial shredder. I also kind of get a kick out of the fact that they kind of carry him to it like he's Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2. So Michael's body is completely 100% destroyed. There is no coming back from this. He's about as dead as you could possibly ever be. No more continuations for this timeline. Once he gets disposed of, Laurie and Allyson reconcile with one another, and she finally finishes her memoir.
I've said goodbye to my boogeyman. But the truth is, evil doesn't die. It changes shape.
So with her memoir finally finished, the movie and the series ends on a bit of a peaceful note, with Frank going to see Laurie, and it parallels that of the original film, with some shots of the house and no real distinct breathing noises like before, showing Michael is finally gone for good. Although for some reason we see that his mask is there, which makes me wonder why they let her keep it. Shouldn't that be in like an evidence locker, or wouldn't you want to get rid of that thing? It probably smells like shit. But hey, at least the movie ends with Don't Fear the Reaper.
So that was Halloween Ends, the supposedly final film of the Halloween franchise. My thoughts on it are kind of what I thought about it when I first saw it. I'm a little mixed on this one, but I don't hate it overall.
Halloween Ends is a fascinating entry within the series. There's some bits of the movie I like for sure, but on the other hand, it has some major faults to it. In terms of the positives, the music is once again pretty great. It has a very different feel to it than the previous two film scores. The more I listen to it, the more it has grown on me, with the standout track being The Procession. I still prefer the 2018 and Kill scores over this one, but I still like the score overall. Plus, it was nice to see Carpenter and that come back to do the score one last time. Jamie Lee Curtis still gives a pretty good performance as Laurie for her final time playing the character, and it was nice to see her character get a happy ending for once. I'm glad that she got a second chance after the bullshit that was Halloween Resurrection took a huge crap on her character. I also admire the ambition of the filmmakers by trying to do something different with this one, instead of just doing the same thing we've seen over and over and over again. Bringing in a new character as the main focus in the final part of your trilogy is a risky move that didn't quite pay off for them, but I admire the attempt, and even if it didn't work, I still feel that the main actor, Rohan Campbell, does a pretty good job in the role of Corey Cunningham. There was a definite Christine influence with his character in this one. I think that if he was maybe introduced earlier on in this trilogy, then it would have probably gone over a little bit better. But he wasn't, and that's kind of an issue with this movie, is that it's meant to be a trilogy closure, and now all of a sudden they're shifting gears so far in another direction, it lacks consistency, and the movie feels a bit afraid to fully commit to a direction. If you were invested in the Corey storyline and wanted to see this whole passing of the torch thing from Corey to Michael, then the movie sort of shortchanges it a bit by having Corey die and not continue on with him as the new killer. Having Corey live on as the new killer would have tied into the ending of Laurie's memoir better, where she mentions that evil never dies, it just changes shape. But at the same time, with this being billed as the finale to the series, it is nice that it wraps things up. I feel like this movie works better as a more standalone movie instead of as a trilogy closure. What should have been the driving force of this movie based on what happened in the ending of Halloween Kills, where Laurie and Frank were left off in the hospital, really took a back seat here to something else. The inability to fully commit to the final showdown between Laurie and Michael versus a passing of the torch angle with Corey, I think is what hurts the movie the most. The ending confrontation between Laurie and Michael feels sort of tacked on at the end and takes away from the stuff they were doing with Corey. The majority of the movie was about Corey, and it just sort of gets forgotten about to make way for Laurie versus Michael. I feel that no matter which direction you go in, you can't fully win with this one as a result of the story decisions made here. That's the movie's biggest fault in my opinion, which is its consistency. It tries to juggle too many things and never fully succeeds at all of them. Sometimes the movie is a passing of the torch film, sometimes it's a bizarre love story, and other times it's a Laurie versus Michael story. There are just a few too many things going on in this one. It doesn't have the same really dumb stuff like we saw in Halloween Kills with the whole evil dies tonight thing, but it's also not quite as over-the-top memorable as that movie was. This movie doesn't fully work for me personally, but it doesn't completely fail either. However, I totally understand why this movie wasn't the most well-received film in the series. I guess it sort of depends on what you're looking for in a Halloween film. I know some people who hated Halloween Kills, but really enjoyed this one. Do you want more of the same? Do you like your Halloween movies to be a bit more over the top and unintentionally funny? Or do you like it when the series tries to go in a very different feeling direction, like this movie and Halloween 3 tried to do? I feel like Halloween Ends has the potential to become more beloved as time goes on, like with what happened in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. As for me though, I don't see my opinion really changing. I like some parts of it and others I don't. In terms of the Blumhouse trilogy, I'd say the 2018 film is still the best, and while I think Halloween Kills has a lot more dumb stuff in it, I do find it to be a more entertaining movie than this one. But I am glad to see the series be given a more proper conclusion. Could it have been stronger? Yes, it could have been a lot better. In hindsight, do we really need these two follow-up sequels when the 2018 film wraps itself up just fine? No, not really. You could have just ended it with the 2018 film and we would have been pretty good to go. But still, I am a fan of this franchise, and I do for the most part have a good time with these movies. Even if they aren't always the best, I am glad I was there to watch them.
So that's it. That was Halloween Ends. No more Halloween movies for Sean. I can finally put this series to rest, because as we all know, they're never going to make any more Halloween movies ever again. Must be my phone. Oh, it's Steve. Hey Steve, where you at, man? I tried calling you earlier. Hello? Hello? God, I just hear your fucking heavy breathing. God, the signal sucks down here. I can barely fucking hear you, Steve. What did you do with Steven? Alright, that's it. You've been a pain in my ass for the past couple of years. You want to fight me, Michael? Well, here I am. Looks like evil's about to get its ass. Steve? Steven! Get me out of this thing! Hello, Earth to Steven! Get me the fuck out of this thing, you little shit! I've been tied up before, and it was a lot more enjoyable than it is now! Jimmy! Steve! Right behind you! It's Michael! No. It can't be.
Oh, but it is. Hello there.
Who the fuck are you?
An admirer, but you may know me by a different name. Connell Cochran.
The Silver Shamrock guy?
I'm more than just a Silver Shamrock guy. You also know me as the leader of the Cult of Thorn. Show them, boys. And now that I have control of Michael and your stupid friend, unlike last time, I will see this plan through till the end.
Why, Cochran? Why?
Do I need a reason?
Yeah, I think I deserve an explanation. I'm just some guy trying to review some movies and all this crazy shit just keeps happening to me.
I love a good joke, and this is the best joke of all. What on you and you stupid YouTubers.
YouTubers? Why YouTubers?
Do you know what today is?
It's Halloween.
Bingo. The Festival of Samhain. The last great one took place over 3,000 years ago.
The hills ran red with the blood of animals and of children. Get some new goddamn material. I've seen the fucking movie.
Very well then.
It was 40 years ago, in your time, when my little accident in the factory left me permanently disfigured. Not knowing if I succeeded or not. Years planning the ultimate joke, only for it to be taken away from me. When the accident in the factory occurred, I thought I was about to die. But instead, I ended up here in your world. I found Michael, but then I made a discovery. That would be you and your friends making these stupid YouTube videos, and you were all just so fucking obnoxious about it. Especially you, Sean. I knew that my newfound purpose was, so for the past several years, I've been watching over you and your friends in this channel, waiting for the opportune moment to strike.
And now, that the planets are in alignment, I can finally play the greatest practical joke.
So you're gonna kill everyone like you tried to do last time?
Oh no, I thought of something much worse.
Worse?
Killing you is too easy, takes the enjoyment out of it. So instead, I would be forcing you and your stupid YouTube friends, YouTuber, endure the worst torture known to man.
You don't scare me, Cochran. Whatever torture you have planned, I can take it.
When the clock strikes 9, you and every YouTuber will be forced to watch The Last Jedi on repeat for all eternity.
You sick, twisted son of a bitch, Cochran! I swear to God, when I get out of this thing, I'm going to kill you! Do you hear me? I'm going to kill you!
Well, you can try, Sean, but you won't be able to escape this one. You see, at 9 p.m. the signal goes out to every YouTuber's phone, computer, tablet, placing them under my hypnosis, forcing them to watch the thing that they hate the most, Star Wars The Last Jedi, for all of eternity. The ultimate practical joke. And that starts with you, Sean. And where the fuck did he go?
He escaped while you were monologuing, sir.
Fuck! Not again. If he escapes and finds help, it'll ruin everything we've worked to accomplish. Michael, after him. Not you, Steven. I need you for other reasons.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is not good. Not good at all, Sean. You are fucked. Time to call in some help.
I'm sorry, Sean, but I can't right now. I'm in the middle of, writing my next review.
Oh, really? What movie?
Well, my next review is Morbius. You know, it's Morbing time!
Alright, that's it. I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, Dean. I'd rather die than listen to this cringe any longer. I'm hanging up now.
I am so sorry. I should not make that, meme. Please don't hang up. It's not what it looks like. It just left, okay? Just please don't hang up. Sean, please leave!
Bye, Dean.
Sean? Hello? Hello? Oh, damn it!
Shit, I'm running out of time. I better call Jack. This is getting serious. Pick up, Jack.
Hey, what's up? It's Big Jack Films here. How can I help you?
Jack, it's Sean. I need your help with something really badly.
I'm sure it's something really important.
It is really important. This is life or death, man.
It sounds quite serious.
Of course it's fucking serious!
Yeah, well, I'd love to help you, but unfortunately you're listening to a voicemail. I'm actually stuck at Jurassic Park fending off dinosaurs. Not to mention my internet's not home yet, and on top of that, I've got a hologram doing my review show. If you require any other help, please call your cable operator or satellite provider. Thanks for calling the Big Check Films hotline. Never call us again. Bye!
Fuck you and your goddamn voicemail, you fucking piece of shit! Jesus Christ, you can never get help when you need it. Fuck! Who do I know that's an expert in all things Halloween that can help me in this situation? This is a bunch of fucking bullshit! Fuck! Come on, think, come on. We're running out of time. Halloween expert. Wait a minute. I know the perfect guy. Oh, fuck, I hope he picks up.
What I gotta watch tonight. It's getting close to Halloween. I've pretty much been through everything here. Sean. Hello?
Adam!
Sean? Yeah, it's been a while, man. What's good?
Well, it could be better. Look, as much as I'd love to chit-chat around and all that stuff, I don't got the time. In fact, I really need your help with something. It's rather urgent.
Sure. How can I help?
Look, man, since you're the biggest Halloween movie fan I know, I need to understand something. How do you free somebody who's been inflicted with the Curse of the Thorn?
The Curse of Thorn. Do you have any runes, by any chance, to make an anti-thorn symbol?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, in that case, you're going to want to destroy the originator, the person who passes the curse, so to speak. Sever the connection, and then you're fine.
Okay, so I need to kill Conal Cochran and Michael Myers then. Got it.
Sean, slow down. What?
Thanks a lot, Adam. I owe you one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye!
What a random-ass phone call. Strange dude.
Okay. I know what I need to do now. Deep breath, Sean. Deep breaths. Here we go. Shit! It's just my Michael Myers stand that I keep in this doorway for whatever reason. I don't know. You big goofy goober Sean, you little rascally rabbit. Okay. Nothing in here. Jesus Christ!
Eat the Snickers. We help you when you're hungry.
Are you good now?
Yeah!
Wait. Michael. Here. Eat a Snickers. It's ghoulish green. It's special Halloween-themed Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry, man.
That was ghoulish green, you asshole. Oh shit. Shit. Shit, AC. It's morphin' time! Dragon Sword! So you think this is a good ending for the franchise, huh? Taste it! Oh, no. Oh, hell yeah. Hello there. It's Halloween, Michael. I guess everyone's entitled to one bit of death. One down. One to go. It's over, Cochran. Michael's dead, and soon you will be too.
No, 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 no! This is outrageous! It's unfair! Why is it any time I play a prank, some idiot comes and ruins it? Steven, after him! Kill him now!
Well, sorry, Steven.
Oh, my balls! Oh, my fucking balls! Oh, my balls! Oh, my balls!
Come on, Steven! You're supposed to kill him! That's it! I've had enough of you, Sean. I'm gonna kick your ass. So you gotta play games, huh? Power! Unlimited power! Power! Unlimited power! I don't understand. I thought of everything so carefully. All I wanted to do was play a practical joke.
You don't get it, Cochran. The joke was never on me.
It was always on you!
Oh, man! Why do my balls hurt? Oh, why am I in Sean's garage right now? What the hell happened? Well, he's dead. Thanks, Green Ranger.
Hey, that's what friends are for.
Sean?
That's right, Steve. It's me, Sean.
I'm so confused right now. What happened?
Steven, it's a long story. It was indeed. Steve managed to make a full recovery, while Connell Cochran and Michael Myers were defeated once and for all, and most importantly, nobody was forced to watch a shitty Star Wars movie. All was right in the world. I had done it. I had finally laid the Halloween series to rest. On to new beginnings, new reviews, and hopefully, no new nightmares. Time for a nap. Oh, for fuck's sake.